So I replaced a few of the capacitors in this thing. The resistors seem to be all good. I put this resistor in. They had a resistor mounted to here. It was a 10 watt resistor at 4,700 ohms. So I had this here, so I mounted this in here. It's not calibrated. I'll do that another day. Now I redid this. I hooked up that, what the hell's it called in here, that jumper in here. So if I put this in, if I don't have this in, it won't work. Or at least it shouldn't. It's got the 6C4, the 7F7, 7F7. This is no longer hooked up. So if I plug it in, it should be about 10.7 here. I'm going to hook it up here and plug it in and see what happens. Back on, I'll turn this unit on. I think I can insert this without a problem. I'll shut it off anyways. Click it off. So this wasn't working. Now I'll put this in. I'm twisting it a little bit. 10.7 megahertz. So the 6C4. I had these when I was a kid. This is one of the tubes around that we had. .7, a little glow. So I hooked that jumper up. They didn't have it hooked up. So I'll turn it around here and try some other things. I'm going to use this for that Heath kit. What's it called? Heath kit HR10. I made it like a dozen mistakes doing that thing. It seemed like I'm going to use this one with it, I think. I'm going to keep this kind of cable on here. I just have to drill a hole someplace to put one on so I can put it right to this for a frequency counter. So we've got 10.7 and peak to peak of 1.35 volts. This thing is, I have the knobs off right now. I've been oiling them. So if I crank this baby up, it seems to go, the frequency changes. Now I'll pull back on the attenuator a little bit, and then it comes down, so I don't know what that's about. That's doing this one here, attenuator. Well, this is up. It had one resistor. There's three 1K resistors, half watt. One of them was burnt. It gained some value, not a lot, but it gained some value. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if I can twist this. I'm gonna have to put a temporary knob on it. I got one right here I can stick on. I can throw this thing on it. So we got 10.7 here, and we can go down. What's sound takeoff? Where's 10.7? I hear sound takeoff. I have to change it 4.7 or something like that. 2, 4, 6. I don't remember what it is. The sound takeoff on a TV. 4.7. On D. I have to put a knob on there. So I have to, I'm on. Okay, here's A scale. I will put this on 170. Got nothing? Oh shit, I got something. So this says 170 on A. Let's try 110 kilohertz approximately. I'll go up to this 170 one more time. 167. It's not calibrated. 170. 167. I'll B. That says 446. The glass is broken. The person did not ship it properly. So that's off on that one. This is B. Let's go to C. Is 550. That's AM, I guess. I'll put it like 710. Is that 710? See what it says. 717. So it's a little grabby to turn this. It's a little grabby. So I was at this scale. Now I'll go to D, and I'll put it to 3.2. See what happens. Three point 1.4. 10.7 that we already worked that. 10, 5, 6, 7. 10.7. That's on E. 10.7. 10.6. 10.7. Next one is E. I'll try to get, I think the TVIFs are at 45. Just gets a little grabby here. 45 megahertz. So 45. It's off. I'll go back. I didn't do 455. What the heck is that? I'll come back to B. I'll put just a moment here. So it has to be calibrated. I'll put right now I just have it on RF. I'll put modulation on it. This is Orange Beginner's Corner. This is it's about 10:30 at night, Saturday night. I will change this to 10.7. Where is it? E. .7, 2 volts, peak to peak. I'll put modulation into it here. It's not really showing much. A little bit. Shut it off. Back on. This is a model 315. So here's the parts. Here's the resistor that was burnt in the attenuator box. It's 470 ohm. I replaced that. That was a bit high. And this was the resistor they had in there. Somebody replaced it. And this would roll back and forth so it could short out at any given time. And if this stuff would have chipped off, then it could have been trouble, because this was mounted right up against the steel chassis. And this capacitor is all gooey, so it's in here. I'm going to try to restuff these things. I think this is a 0.5. You got a 0.25 and a couple 0.05s and a 0.001, I think, and a 0.01, I think, or a couple 0.01s, I think. .01 at 400 volts. .01 at 400 volts. So today's July 27th. These are the knobs for it. This is to my Holocrafters with SX110, I think it's called. So that's sitting in there too. This is for the BFO. I had to take it off, but there's another sleeve I have to take off, and I don't have a small enough Allen wrench. So back to business. 10.7. So I'm going to try to use this with the Heathkit AR10 and get it adjusted properly, or see how I adjusted it. I think this will be easier to read for me, but I got to get plexiglass cut for it and clean this. So I had to go to what, 16? You know what I got to go under? 16. Something. What was it, megahertz? I think it's here. I had the modulation on, so if it's supposed to be 16, 20 something. I think 16. I think it was 1620, I think. So that should be it for the IFs. That sounds familiar, 1620. So I should be able to use this. I'll use this before I calibrate it. I'm not going to calibrate it, and I'm going to keep these on here because then I get a less capacity cable. I got a nice long cable with I'll hook some ends up to it, put something on there, and might as well use this cable for something. That's this piece of crap. Come with this. It's crap. This thing is crap. 1620. I think that's correct. 3.2 volts. Let's pull it back to way back, see what it does. So I got 823 millivolts peak to peak. I'll throw some modulation into it. So I think this should work. That's full all the way up, and this one's on here. I don't think I can twist this. It's some pretty tight stuff. I got the knobs right here, but whoops, someplace here. I bought these for it. I haven't tested them yet. I'll test them. Here's the knobs. Cheapos. See, these ones have a brass collar in them. Both of them do. These ones here are really nice. ABC 1620. I think that's where it's got to be. I'm just going to keep all these parts inside of it. Somehow. I mean, I don't have to keep these. These are crap. Actually, they ain't that bad, really. Even the burnt one was only like 2020 ohms or something. It wasn't really that. It didn't increase that much, really. But it looks bad. It looks like somebody really toasted it. The 470 ohms. That gain value somewhat. That, I think it was about 520 ohms. I think 520 ohms. If I remember right. So these here are Sylvania tubes, I think. I think they're brand new. They look brand new. Has some green, very faint. One of them's 7F7. Is that what I need? Better be. Sylvania, I think it says. 7F7. So these are 6.3 volt filaments. The ones that start with 14 are 12.6 volts. I'm familiar with those. This has all lactose in it. I think lactose went out with World War II. Got speakers, 12-inch speakers there. I gotta work on this. This is what I took out of that Heath kit. I think it was 60, 40, 20, and 15 meters or something, and 10. And I put two 220K resistors. I realized this is so when you shut it off, it bleeds the power out right away. But I got quantity of 2, or is it 4? 2 or 4 220K resistors at 1 watt fireproof to take place of this thing. I don't remember what I did. But I still got to work on that. Never finish that either. 1620 kilohertz, I believe, is what I want. So we'll call it quits here. I don't have a clue what this stuff's about. I have not a clue. $16.20. We'll call it quits here until I get to the Heathkit AR, was it AR 10, I think? AR. Signing off. This is it. It's hot. It's real hot here. Really hot. Very warm. I gotta drill a hole here someplace. I should probably do that. I can't do that here. It's got might have to do it way over here. I just want to get a T for this. I don't want to change it to the other kind. I want to leave this on it because this is lower capacity wire. Otherwise you got to use this skinny crap. I'd rather use this. Why the hell not? Signing off.